We are now recording, and hello there, Miss Desiree. How are you?
Hello, how are
This is
you?
Desiree Maurer. She is an agent with Mount Pleasant, Keller Williams. I've known Desiree for probably 4 years now. We've done a lot of stuff together. We've done uh,
Lots of red day stuff.
we've done a lot of KW Care stuff. Desiree gives back all the time, and we're gonna talk about Dragon Boat is number one. Desiree is what are you, an international dragon boat rower, oarsman? What do they call themselves?
Paddler, international
Paddler.
paddler.
Paddles up, Desiree.
Paddles up.
So she's an international paddler. Why don't you give us a quick origin story? Who you are, where you're from, how'd you get into real estate, how long you've been in real estate, and what are your favorite things to do?
Sure. Well, I've been in the Charleston market for a little over 9 years. I'm originally from Connecticut, and I had got my real estate license years ago in Connecticut, but also right when the market tanked there. We were in the middle of building a house at the time. So I have a marketing degree, and I ended up working as a director of marketing for a food service distribution company in Connecticut. And that was pretty much my life up there up until 9 years ago when we moved here. And because the market was so different here, I said to my husband, I want to get back into real estate. And he said, sure. And here I am now.
So what brought you down here was real estate?
No, just tired of the cold, tired of the taxes.
Wow, I haven't heard that one.
Why every northerner's coming down now.
I haven't heard that one before at all. No.
No, I'm sure you haven't.
So you came down 9 years ago. If you hadn't been around 9 years ago, we were just pulling out of the market. Real estate was leading the market, getting us out back into a regular market. What'd you find? How'd you get going? You didn't know anybody.
Didn't know a soul.
You didn't know anybody.
And I had started with a different brokerage then. So it was really a matter of getting out there and meeting people, networking, developing relationships. And it also helped too that Craigslist back then was very workable for agents. And, so between networking and Craigslist, that's really how I got my foot in the door initially.
Give me a quick rundown on Craigslist. Talk to me about Craigslist real quick, because it's how I actually got started in 2006 the same way. Mm-hmm. Craigslist was brand new. Give us a rundown.
Well, it's changed now compared to what it was 9 years ago. Back in the day, you could post actual clickable links. You could post, find all homes in Mount Pleasant under 500,000 that has a pool, things like that. And the founders of Craigslist, and some people say it's because of Keller Williams. I think it was just as a whole, but the owner of Craigslist really came down on how to post ads because they, initially started it for owners, not realtors. So over the years, the process has changed, but back then when I first started, I was able to get so many leads and, out of the different posts that I did.
And I agree with you, because that's the same way I started. I started focusing on 300,000 and above leads, and I was using brokerage leads, and that's what we were posting. And then, thank you, John Smith. John's a good friend of mine, by the way.
Me too, and that's how I met him, was through
through Craigslist. John Smith just inundated Craigslist. Craigslist started charging New Yorkers and Los Angeles people like $25. Yeah. And I think we're seeing the same thing happening with Facebook. We're getting to the point in Facebook, that's another story, but I think we're doing the same thing. My alert to anybody out there, if you see something new on, some kind of new social media, jump on it real quick while it's still cheap. Mm-hmm. If you're a Gary follower, TikTok. These kids are 14, 15 years old. Now you're starting to get to 20, 30-year-olds. All right, back to your superpower. That's another whole show if you want me to talk about it. Back to your superpower. So I've known you for 4 years, and I know that you hand out these blue envelopes,
Hmm.
right? They're blue.
Yep.
And when you get a blue envelope in the mail from Desiree, what's inside that envelope?
So it's a little marketing thing that I've been doing all along. For whenever I close a referral, I send that referring agent a handwritten note. The referral check isn't mailed from the market center, it's mailed from me. And I have a handwritten note saying, thank you for allowing me to help your client, blah, blah, blah. And here's your check.
There you go. And it sets you apart because it is a blue envelope. It is from you, and you're the one that
Exactly.
sends it. So let's go back to the beginning. How do you find these people? Where did you find them? How did you get to know all these people? I mean, I've seen you do everything from Ohio to California. Where are they coming from? You just
So,
knock on doors? Tell me how you go about it using certain words or your system if there is one.
so in the beginning, before I came to Keller Williams, um, I was part of Brian Buffini's, you can see it, Brian Buffini's coaching program, which involves he does a lot of pop buys and note writing, constantly writing notes to different people, to, your vendors, to your neighbors, to your farm, whomever, and, connecting that way so that you're known as the person to reach out to when they have a real estate need.
How often?
I'm sorry?
How often were these notes and stuff going out?
The pop buys were every single month. The notes were, I had a certain number every week that I was doing them. Now I'm doing something a little bit different, which I'll explain in a
Okay.
bit. But I would send out so many every week to different people.
So that wasn't that expensive, right? No
No.
paper, envelopes, and a stamp. What do you figure
And
you got?
yeah, and if you
Oh,
were part of the Brian Buffini program, they sent you a whole bunch of note cards to use, different themes every month, with little stickers saying, I'm never too busy for your referrals.
right, right. Okay, cool. What happened next? I mean, who'd you target? Let's go back to that. Actually did you target? Was it your database, or were you meeting people and putting them in? Were you adding them to an 8x8 campaign?
Meeting people, putting them and in that previous brokerage life, we didn't have anything but 8x8s or anything like that. So it was just something that I was winging it, putting it together, and developing a database on that. When I came to Keller Williams 7 years ago, one, it was a complete, okay, I got to relearn everything, and the 8x8s and all of that. And people might, what's the best way to say this? So I've had people in our market center say, oh, family reunions are a waste of time. Don't go to it. They just party, whatever. That is the absolute worst advice anybody can give. The first year I was with Keller Williams, everyone said, don't worry, don't go, it's a waste of time, whatever. And I didn't go. And then the next year was in New Orleans, where my son was living at the time. I said, well, I'm going to go and check it out. And it was the best decision I've ever made. One of the best decisions I've ever made, because that's how everything started in blossoming. Networking with agents from around the world is the most important thing to do in your business. And now I go to every single family reunion. I go to every single mega camp, spring masterminds, which was virtual this year, luxury masterminds, which was virtual also. So unfortunately, we don't have the networking we did before, but
Clarify, those are all Keller Williams industry get-togethers.
correct. Yeah.
Correct. So if you're not with Keller Williams, and I don't know who's listening, if you're not with Keller Williams, there are other industry
Right.
events, and that's the mindset is what when you go to these events. What do you think about instead of saying, "Hey, I'm going to what's the place with the hurricanes?"
Patios.
Instead of going to get a hurricane, I'm going to go do X, Y, and Z. What is X, Y, and Z?
So different agents from around the country will organize these networking events at different venues. whether it's a breakfast, a happy hour. You know, in Dallas this year, there was a group of agents from the Northeast who did their own little mastermind, and they had hours set every single day where you could sign up for it and mastermind with these other agents from around the country. So all those types of events at these big events are a big integral part of building your business.
So how do I get invited to that? How did you find out about it? Where'd you look? How'd you know about it? Because I think it's very important. It's super important.
Yeah, in the beginning, it was just a matter of emails that I got, random emails. Agents who got our email addresses through whatever sources would send out these bulk emails inviting you to their events. And every year at family reunion, I have a special card made with a little trinket of something about Charleston. And when I go to these different events, hey, think of me the next time.
That's important. And just so I can clarify this up for everybody, you had a special card with a trinket attached. Do you have one there?
I've got a card. Actually,
what this does is, she's looking for it. What this does, it sets you apart.
So this says I'm from Charleston, and on the back, sorry.
You got that? Yeah, okay.
I can scan it and send it.
Take a picture of it and scan it.
Yeah.
And what is, so that's not your business card. You use it for clients.
Exactly. Totally different. And it even has the Kelly UPC.
It has a little, yep.
Little, you know what I'm talking about.
Code, or whatever you call that.
Yeah.
Click, click, yeah.
So that you can just scan your phone.
What kind of trinket did you put with it?
One year I did Charleston tea plantation tea bags with a little
inexpensive,
tagline to it.
Right.
Another year, it was the one in New Orleans. My son was working at a coffee roasting company in New Orleans. I know it had nothing to do with Charleston, but it was New Orleans little bags of coffee with my card attached to it. This year we had seashells with a little tagline. So it's been different.
How many do you normally bring?
About 100, depending on how big.
So it's not that many people. You're not touching that many people. So we got you carrying something that's going to differentiate you from the crowd. They do know you're from Charleston. You're the only one handing out those cards with your face on it and your value statements. And then you go to this breakfast. You go to this Northeast breakfast. You know, a lot of us that sell things are introverts, right?
I'm an introvert.
You are. I know you are. I know you are. That's why I want to get into that. Is what do you do when you get to the breakfast? I mean, there's like 50 Northeasterners standing around you. You know what the Northeasterners come from Connecticut. I mean, how do you go, hey, I am, what's your opening line? How do you talk to people?
Well, Charleston's an easy open liner. All you have to say is, I'm from Charleston. Everybody's like, oh, I love Charleston. And that's how the whole conversation starts. For us as being Charleston agents, it's a very easy.
Walk us through that conversation, because a big part of this series is about conversations. So you have that agent in front of you. And let's say I'm from New York. No, really? I'm from New York, downtown. All right. So, hey, you're from Charleston. What's going on? Where do I go? Where do you go as a Charleston agent?
Well, when you tell me that you're from New York, hey, I deal with so many people from New York. They're constantly moving down here. You know, I'm relocation certified. So, you know, what can I do to help your clients if you know of anybody?
Okay.
That's kind of how, and then they ask about the market, and it's just start developing a conversation. And once I have that contact information, I put them into a separate database just for agents, because I don't want to put them in the normal 8x8 that every person in your system gets, because I personally hate it when I get emails from other agents saying, you know, here's what's for sale in East Oshkosh or whatever. So
you have a separate marketing plan just for those agents.
Separate marketing plan. Yep.
which we can do with Command or Top Producer, or I use FirePoint. Any one of us can build that system.
Yeah, we actually started something a little different this year because it's evolved over the years. This year we really made it more about what's Charleston and who am I? You know, what do I do outside of selling real estate, so that they can understand a little bit more about what is so special about Charleston and so forth. So, you know, as soon as they have somebody say, hey, do you know of an agent in Charleston? They'll think of me.
Are you giving them a little bit of information about Charleston?
Yep.
So they actually can draw that client back in. Go,
yep.
You know what? I know a woman that knows perfect. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And you stay in touch with you stay in touch with that bunch of agents at least once a month.
Yeah. All the agents that are in that
okay.
group database.
What's your biggest challenge with doing that with those agents? Is there a challenge?
I'm sorry?
Is there a challenge?
I haven't found anything to be
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Nobody telling you get lost or I didn't like you. Everybody likes the service you provide. I mean, my value statement is, you know, you'll never be embarrassed of sending me a referral. I'll treat them like family. You'll never be embarrassed sending me a referral.
Mm-hmm.
And I make sure that doesn't happen. Do you have a value statement when you talk to these folks?
Yeah, I just say that, you know, I'm the realtor for life, and, you know, it's not a transaction to me. It's a long-lasting relationship.
Okay.
And,
cool. What else do I need to know? Okay, so we've identified who they are. You've gone to the breakfast. How soon after that breakfast, when you have Bob Jones's name, I don't mean to pick on Jones, but when you have Bob Jones's name, how soon do you contact that person?
Right away. As soon as we get home, my assistant would help me with what I've done the last couple of times to initially, you know, say, hey, it was great meeting you. I went down to the French market and bought these Charleston cards, note cards, and just put a handwritten note in there saying, hey, it was great meeting you at family reunion. Here's my card again. You know, however I can help in the future, please let me know. And I'll think of you as well for future referrals.
Okay. Do you go on Facebook and friend them or anything like that? Anything on social? You do. So they see you working every day.
Yep.
All right. So you bring them into the social, you bring them into your life type deal, right?
Yeah.
Well, cool. What else should we know about agent referrals? What are some of the pitfalls? Do you get a lot? I know you get a lot of referrals. I mean, as soon as somebody posts something in bold, it's like, boom, Desiree, Desiree, Desiree. It's like, you know, it's like a bunch of seagulls fighting for a French fry. You know? So what else happens? Tell us the rest of the story. Any big conversations that you need to have while you're talking to them on the first meet, the re-meet? I mean, obviously you meet up with people every event.
Right. And some of the things I've heard, you know, if you're a Keller Williams agent, I'm Kelly. I've had people tell me, you know, the main reason why they sent me with the referral was because I had a very detailed biography of my experience. And
very important. Very important.
Yeah. So that is something, you know, very important, because not everybody's going to go on a Facebook referral page. They're going to go through, you know, Kelly or
right.
Sphere. You know.
I do. I go through Kelly or my Sphere.
Yeah. So, you know, having that biography set up, you know, showing where the different areas you work and what your experience has been and so forth is super important.
Okay. Again, clarify if we have anybody here not in Keller Williams. The Kelly is our app that we connect with all our clients and our agents. And I'm sure that you have one. If you don't, come on over. We'll give you one. Next. So you met the guy in 2019, Northeast Convention, breakfast. Tell me what happens in 2020 when you go to Dallas. Do you see these people every time? Do you make it a point of reaching out and touching them? Are you holding your own? Tell me about that.
Haven't gotten to that point where I'm hosting my own yet, but
Well, you had something here a couple, what, last year, the year before?
well, yeah.
That was pretty special. How many people did you bring in?
We had about 20 agents, including myself.
20 agents. Those are 20 people that are going to send you money, right? Or you're going to send them money.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too shabby, man. If I can get 20, these people are your clients. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
They're your clients. So you got to treat them like clients. That's important. So anyway, I'm sorry. So what happens in 2020 in August when you go to Dallas, which we're not, Austin, which we're not doing this year, but.
Hey, Joe, are you going to mega camp?
Yeah, I am.
Great. Where are you staying?
I'm going to be staying at the Hyatt.
Cool. Well, I'm staying at the Hyatt too. Let's meet up for a drink. Cool. I know it's going to be crazy with 18,000 people there, but let's definitely hook up and either have a drink or a cup of coffee. Would love to see you again.
So it's just setting an appointment.
Yep.
Picture that, setting an appointment with prospect. Amazing. Well, good for that. Anything else you want to add on that before we get into the actual? Would you hold up Buffini's book again?
Yeah, there's actually 2 of them that helped me before coming to Keller Williams. I got a 3rd one afterwards, though, that was more on my sphere referrals. Okay. Oops, I didn't say that.
Where is that thing? Anyway, read off the title.
Brian Buffini, Work by Referral, Live the Good Life.
Brian Buffini, Work by Referral. If I type, you're going to hear it. Brian Buffini, Work by Referral, Have a Good Life.
Live the Good Life.
Live a Good Life.
Proven Strategies for Success and Happiness in the Real Estate Business.
Also by Brian Buffini, Buffini.
And then Michael J. Mayer, The 7 Levels of Communication. I've read both of these books multiple times over the years, just to refresh, see what I could do different.
Any one of these books is good. Buffini is was a big RE/MAX person years ago when I was in RE/MAX.
And here's hopefully you can see it. Here's an example of what an agent in Miami just recently sent me. We had met in Dallas, and it's a seed packet saying "Forget Me Not," and her contact information's on it. So this is the kind of stuff that I do for everybody else.
Excellent. That's a good idea right there. Give them some magnolia seeds.
Yeah.
How's that? Magnolia seeds. Anybody got any questions? Type them in the right. You want to ask anything before we move on to how you do this with people that you know, love, and trust you? We're good. What percentage of your business was referral last year?
About 80% of it.
80%. Did you buy any leads from Zillow, Realtor, or Trulia?
Never have bought any leads.
Did you buy any leads from Google or Facebook?
Nope.
No.
Well, Facebook advertising? Yeah, for listings, but.
Okay. So for listings, to promote listings.
Correct.
Not to bring leads in. Well, that brings leads in, but so here's what I want you to know. Anybody that's on here, anybody in my voice range, Desiree was the top single agent in Mount Pleasant last year with gross sales, correct? She was. She won't tell you. But without spending more than postage to keep her people up to date, she is the top selling agent, single agent, without an extra agent team or group. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So what she's telling you is true, and it's real. You can do this. My biggest thing is, in my budget years ago, I had a $10,000 budget line item for mistakes. And one of the reasons why I do these interviews is so that I save you money. That $10,000, I eventually got down to about zero because I stopped making stupid mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I made was paying for Zillow, Realtor, and Trulia. Okay, Trulia not so much. Was hiring somebody else to do my calls. So as you listen to these agents, understand that you can do this without a lot of money. Correct, Desiree?
Yep.
Yeah, it's postcards, stamps, and some handwriting. Okay, and make yourself a nice bundle.
And again,
So,
I am a super quiet person for the most
she
part,
is.
very introvert, but something I love meeting new people first off from other parts of the country because it's always interesting to hear how other markets are doing. And so this has been if I have to, like, by 7 o'clock at night, I have to go home back to the room and totally check out.
While you're having these conversations, are you aware of Ford, family occupant? Are you aware of that as you're questioning people, or as you're conversing, or is it just now to the point where it's natural?
It's gotten pretty natural. As you get to see more and more people every year at these different events, familiar faces. I had this in Dallas. I had an agent who I had never met before. He was from Texas. He came running up to me and said, "Hey, Desiree." We were Facebook friends, but I didn't, had never had any communication with him whatsoever. And he's like, "Hey, Desiree, I see you always in the different boards, and it's so nice to meet you in person." So, things like
that's important. Betsy, did you hear that? So Betsy's question was, any suggestions on how to get referrals if we haven't yet been to mega or family reunion? And I think being on the boards is one of those things. You got to get on these boards. There are all kinds of groups.
Yeah. Reach out to people on Kelly. If you're Keller Williams agent, reach out to people on Kelly first off and just connect with people. Think of what the different markets, your present clients are coming or past clients have come from. And, if they've come from Idaho or Kentucky or whatever, go and look up agents in those areas and connect with them on Kelly. Same thing in Facebook is connect with those different agents from around the country.
Here's something I want you to be aware of, agents out there. And I know, I'm sure Desiree is aware of it. I know I am. When you jump on and ask somebody on Facebook, "Hey, who do you know in Topeka, Kansas?" Desiree's going to jump on and get her girl in Topeka, Kansas. Well, her girl in Topeka, Kansas is going to wind up saying, "Thank you, Desiree. I'm going to send you somebody." They're not going to. So as an agent, do your own homework. Find somebody who doesn't have a referral partner in our city. Right. Don't use somebody else's referral agent, because they're going to reward their referral agent, not you. They're going to say, "Thanks."
Yeah.
That's where he's going to get the deal.
So many talented agents in each city. So there's plenty to go around.
Yes. Don't use somebody else's, because you'll never get a referral back. This is what this is about. Quid pro quo. All right. You agree with that, right?
I do, yeah.
Don't ask other people for their agents. All right. Anything else on agents? I think agents are fascinating. Right now, personally, I've got 8 outbound sales going on right now. A majority of my business is also 75, 80% on referrals. How do we let's talk about, and I know we want to get to your sphere, but how do we talk about outbound referrals? How are you getting outbound referrals? You do a lot of outbound referrals?
Not as much as inbound, but if you're active on Facebook, which I am, keep reminding your friends from wherever, if you're originally from Connecticut like me or wherever, keep reminding your friends and family, hey, if you need a realtor, know of anyone that needs a realtor that's coming to Charleston, or excuse me, sorry,
go the other way.
In that area, let me know and I can connect you with an awesome agent. The person that sold my house in Connecticut, that's what I've been doing since then, and we've shared a lot of business between each other. Because I'm I have a lot of people coming down here from Connecticut who need to sell their homes. So, and, family members she's helped out. So it's just a matter of, don't be that silent secret agent on any profile, any social media profile, make sure it says that you're a realtor with whomever. And
Relocation specialist, referral specialist.
Yeah, and even if your Facebook profile is private anyways, which mine is, you still can see Keller Williams, agent with Keller Williams Charleston. You know, so people who are connecting with you, they can.
Sure thing. And I come from a big family in the Northeast, and in the last 3 months, I think 3 of my nieces and nephews, who I probably haven't seen, sorry, for about 5 or 6, 7 years. No, it is not, Betsy. You can say that. You can say you're one of them without any worries. She asked if referral specialist is a certification we can get from CTAR. You can, but don't spend the money. There's, I'm not a big fan of the alphabet. What else we need to know about referrals?
As far as agents, let's see. Well, I'm seeing if I answer any other questions.
All right. Well, the outbound side of it, let me just discuss the outbounds, if you don't mind me just doing this for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
The way I get so many outbounds is very simple. These people are calling in on probably one of my listings, and I'm talking to them, and I'm doing my LP Mama and whatever you want to call yours, right? Location, price, mortgage, agent, and filing appointment. I'm going down through doing the LP Mama, and one of the things I ask is, do you have to sell a house? Do you need to sell a house? It's probably one of the most important questions you're going to ask. Yes, we do. Do you have an agent? No, we don't. You know, where do you live? I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. Well, I happen to know a couple of people up in Fairbanks, Alaska. Would you like me to recommend somebody to you so you don't get a wrong, bad agent? Oh, I'd love that. Understand, these people don't deal with real estate agents every day. We do. And all you need to do, especially if you're in Keller Williams, is to jump on Kelly, punch in Fairbanks, Alaska, look at all the people that sold, pick who you think is the best, call them up, interview them, and make sure you're giving that person the right person. That is the easiest money you're going to make. I don't know about you, but when you're selling a $400,000 house, that's $16,000 or $12,000 commission, and you're going to get $3,000 for making a phone call, it's a lot of money.
Yep.
Put that down as a $100,000 deal, right? $100,000 deal is $3,000. So make sure you do that. Ask the question, do you need a real estate agent? Are you selling your house? Do you need a real estate agent?
Yep.
Okay, let's go to, so the agents were kicked it to death. Anybody got any questions on agents or how we do it? Conversations? Okay, get into Facebook, get into the Keller Williams has 160 or 170,000 agents. Man, if you can't find somebody, call me, because I'll go out there and do it for you. All right, let's talk about your sphere. You came here with nothing, zero. You knew nobody. You knew the fish. What do you do? What do you do from there? What do you do when you're starting out and you don't know anybody? Tell me that path.
Well, as far as not knowing anybody, again, it's all networking, joining different groups, B&I groups, or, you know, if you love to run or if you love to garden, join those different clubs and get to know people. I get so many leads now from dragon boating, you know, so, which is a great fluke.
Tell me what tell everybody what dragon boating is, what it stands for, and how involved you are real quick.
Sure. Dragon Boat Charleston, it was originally started in Charleston about 12, 15 years ago for cancer survivors. It's a great outreach program that promotes physical activity as well as, you know, bonding and so forth for different cancer patients. And it's open to all ages, men and women. And, you know, the competitive side of me just really jumped into it 2 years ago when I was diagnosed with cancer and got totally addicted to it. It's considered one of the top growing sports in the world right now for everybody, not just cancer survivors.
Right.
So, yeah.
We do put 2 boats in there a year. We have 2. It was supposed to be in May, right?
We're supposed to have 3 boats this year. one for Bob Ramella.
Right.
And unfortunately, COVID changed that plan. Right now, there's tentatively scheduled, the race, the festival's tentatively scheduled for the beginning of October. And they're really hoping that all the teams that, they had about 60 teams registered. So they're really hoping that all 60 teams can still participate. But it's the top fundraiser for this organization. And each year we raise about $150,000 for it.
Just here.
Yeah.
Okay. And the money is used to help survivors? In what way?
To provide different outreach programs for newly diagnosed cancer patients, to children who have cancer, and every other thing. And
I'll keep them informed on this side of the river.
Yeah, and each boat costs about $10,000. So
$10,000 to run it. Yep. Yeah, $10,000 to run it. Well, that's great. So you're getting a lot of to segue back into it. You're getting a lot of traction from being part of that in the last 2 or 3 years, and you're getting leads from there. You said find people meet people where they are, right? How do I find those people? Where do I go to? I like to hike. Where do I go?
The internet's your best friend.
Huh?
Just Google Facebook groups, or search Facebook groups. Google for groups in Charleston. Okay. That's exactly what I did when we first moved here. I just Googled for different groups, and then on Facebook, I joined a whole bunch of different groups. And actually, I can start talking about, and I could talk about this forever, forming your own Facebook groups and, getting people to join those groups and, networking with those people.
That's a novel idea. Let's go deeper on that. What'd you do?
So I actually got this idea from one of my good friends, Nikki Klein in Boca Raton. She is the master. She's a Keller Williams agent. She is the master of social media marketing. She has a group called Boca Raton Moms Connect, and she has over 13,000 people in that group. Amazing. And she is the only realtor.
Why?
Because she's the admin, and she owns it, and she has control of it.
She makes rules.
That's how she gets the majority of her business, and she's blossomed into other type of Facebook groups to help.
She does a quarterly event, doesn't she? Is that the one that does the quarterly event or something?
She does a bunch of different events, yeah.
Yeah, neighborhoods or something, yeah. So it's pretty much, you were real comfortable doing that, weren't you? Just jumping into people's groups?
Yep. So, I formed a couple of different local groups here. And of course, I'm the only realtor on it. And, you monitor really well when people ask to join, so you can check to see if they are realtors or not.
Or make sure they're not realtors.
Yeah. So, that's another great way of connecting with people here.
What kind of content are you bringing to that Facebook group?
So this one particular one, I've got another one that's an antique page, but anyways, this main one, just different events about Charleston, different things going on in Charleston, or, encourage people to say, hey, I'm looking for an electrician, or I'm looking for a dog sitter.
There you go.
And yeah, there are other groups out there like that, that are just forming another group and having people join. I have another friend in Atlanta. He is big into farming, and he's kind of built his brand around that for farms and land. And he formed a Facebook group all about gardening and farming. So that's how he's been able to generate, excuse me.
So I think my biggest takeaway there is, and it's something that's been around forever, if you know what your niche is, if you're a hiker, you can grow a group of people with similar likes and what you like, right? And you can build that companionship, that trust, that trust issue. The guy that was farming, that's what he does. What do you do? What's your niche? What are you focused on? Which one has the most, which one do you really love that people come to?
Go
Go ahead.
The beach,
The
the
beach.
beach, I guess. Beach lovers.
Beach
Um,
lovers.
you know.
And any traction off of that? How long has it been up?
Well, we just actually started getting it back up and running. It was not, my son has taken over the marketing for me.
Good.
So we just
Leverage.
Huh?
That's called leverage.
Exactly.
For you.
Right. So we're getting that back up and running.
So back to the nurturing of these people.
Notice the beach background.
I noticed the beach background. So getting back to the nurturing of these clients, these prospects. Anything different that you're doing that you would want to share with somebody that
Sure.
takes, go from there.
And this is more for my past clients. And again, my business being majority of it referral based isn't just agent referrals, it's past client referrals and past client repeat business. Most importantly, you always want to stay in contact in front of your past clients, because eventually down the road, they're going to have to sell, either upgrade or upsize or downsize a house. And when they're ready to do that, you want to be the first one they think of. Same thing when they have a family member or best friend or whatever looking to buy or sell, you want to be the one that they recommend. So that's a program that I've been working on and improving over the years. And about 2 years ago, a Keller Williams agent, Liz Johnson, whom I know, she's helped me out with some business out in Seattle, wrote this book that you can get on Amazon. It's called Perk Your Sphere. Oh, geez.
I see.
There.
Liz Johnson.
Yep.
Perk Your Sphere.
And it's all on developing a past client program. And to kind of put it in a quick nutshell, you're doing monthly giveaways where you get vendors to possibly donate things to you, or out of pocket. I've got a budget of $100 a month that I spend on it now, if I can't get any donations.
Right. So what am I getting for $100?
So each month we'll do a giveaway, and for instance, when COVID started, I gave 4 $25 gift certificates to your favorite local restaurant. I didn't pick the restaurant.
Okay.
And it turned into a really fun event where, I have a private Facebook page for that, just my past clients, nobody else. And I'll do a video every month and tell them what the thing is. And, for this particular one, they had to respond back and say what their favorite restaurant was. I put all their names into a drawing. So one, it gave, a shout out to our restaurants who really needed our help these last couple of months.
Sure.
And, 2, it was just a fun thing for everybody to get involved. And then I did a live Facebook video the following day and drew 4 names and what their restaurants were.
How expensive was that?
So,
That's a perfect. Yeah, definitely. Great.
Yeah. So 1, I was giving back to keep helping the restaurants
Right.
by doing this. 2, it was 3 touches, for my past clients in 1 week. Excuse me. And then, people have fun with it. So
And that's a very inexpensive way to bring business, because the people that who like, know, and trust you are going to be the ones that send you a lot of business, correct?
exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can reach out to vendors too. For instance, my assistant reached out to a cleaning company, for spring cleaning. That was, I think, February or March's giveaway. And it didn't cost me a penny. It was promoting the company, and
They got a $250 cleaning.
Yeah.
And hopefully the cleaning company got some free advertising and
Exactly.
A new client.
Yep.
New client. Cool. Boy, I lost that one.
So to expand from that,
Please.
On this book,
Take over.
so there's different tiers to this program, and it's based on referrals. And I'm trying to think the best way to put this. You develop this reward program for when somebody says, hey, my cousin's looking to buy a house. Great. Well, as soon as I meet with that person, I have to meet with them in person. Don't necessarily have to take on the listing or do business with them, but the fact that I actually met them in person, I go and send the person who gave me the referral a gift card to Starbucks, and
5, 10, 15, how much?
$10.
$10.
Yeah. And there's somebody, Renee Brown does something similar, yep. And she does.
She's a pimp.
I think it was Amazon gift card, or she let them choose who they wanted. Right.
And so if you give me one, and I know where you're going with this because I do it too. If you look at one of my covert pages, you give me one a year, you're at this level. You give me 2 a year, you go up to the next level. 3 a year, I'll tell you what, you give me 4 referrals, you're going on a cruise. That's my deal. You're going on a cruise. I'm going to give you $1,000 to spend on that cruise.
Yeah.
Josh, you sitting there going, really? Craig? It works. It works.
It's a good trade-off, man. I'll trade you anytime. You want to send me 4 referrals?
Yep. I'll send you over to Alaska if you'd like me to. So you have to weigh, again, that's very inexpensive for what you're getting, correct?
Yep.
Cost per lead was a $10 card, or, if you do a trip from here, maybe $1,500 on a cruise. Well, that's great. That's a great idea.
And it could be, for instance, I've got 2 closings coming up that are past clients, and their family members have bought with me too. So what we're all going to be doing, and they just bought and sold recently. So, within 6 months, this whole family has bought and sold with me. So I've already talked to Ross at our kitchen, who's going to host a small dinner party for me at his restaurant. And
what's that going to cost you? $1,000, right? I mean, big deal.
If that. Yeah.
So you bring up the whole family. And if you haven't been in business long enough, I'm sure that anybody that has been, we've all done the whole family thing. And how great is that? What kind of feeling does that give you when somebody says, oh, my kid wants to buy, or do this, my folks are coming in? Talk about what kind of sense of you get from that. Where do you go with it? How do you handle it? I mean, I just think it's great.
You're doing the right thing. My mantra from
always do the right thing.
Beginning was to be your friend through all this, and continue to be your friend through, past, not forget about you once we get our commission check.
We can't talk about commission because that's antitrust, but that's another whole conversation there with your clients, or multiple clients, especially multiple clients in the same year. That goes a long way to putting trust in your pocket, putting change back in your pocket. Anybody got any questions, real quick? We're at 1:50. We've got about 50 minutes in. Desiree, you've been absolutely wonderful. Give me a quick rundown on our kitchen. Give me the 30-second ad about Russ. Russ is a super guy. I love him.
Ross is the owner of our kitchen. They've got the main restaurant, the original restaurant's on Rutledge Avenue. They did thank goodness spare any damage from the riots last week. And he also owns another restaurant in West Ashley. And he has been super supportive of all the Keller Williams dragon boating events that we've done. Every year he's cooked us all, 40 plus people, lunch at the festival for free, hasn't charged us a dime.
And it's good food. It's great food.
Our kitchen is awesome. Just an awesome dining experience in itself. And he gives back to the community and us as Keller Williams. So, if you haven't been there yet, definitely check out the restaurant. They're open back up now.
And you will need reservations. It's that good.
Yeah, you have to have reservations at least.
You don't get to pick your food. You are served You were seven or eight courses. What is it?
6 or 7,
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good deal. Flat fee, 35, 40 bucks.
yeah.
And you're in and out. It's a really cool place. Our kitchen, right across from Fuel. Yep, which Fuel got hit. But
Oh, got it. Yeah.
our kitchen looks like a house, so they probably didn't hit them. All right, any questions? Anybody need I think the biggest takeaway, give me a takeaway. Anybody, takeaways?
Build your referrals on, through command and get more agents in your sphere.
Yep, definitely. Any kind of contact resource management you're using, whether it's command or whatever any other agent uses, definitely. Put them in your sphere. Talk to your sphere. Talk to them. Who else? Okay, just like Desiree, thank you very, very much.
You're
You
welcome.
are, you've been a delight. I love you. We've known each other 4 years. Done a lot of good stuff. You can get this interview and every other interview on Facebook at Power Interviews. Okay, that's my page, and we're going to put these all together at the end and produce it so that this will be one big long class of what successful agents do. Yes, Josh, we'll post those up for you as soon as nobody hears me typing. If you're looking for any one-on-one consultation with me, please give me I get a lot of requests from people, and there's so many of them, I really can't handle it. So on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock, I just turn on my Zoom. You're welcome to stop in, drop me a question, have a little chat, and we're done. I run that from 10 to 11. And on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock, I run hey, you really want to be an agent? That's the question mark. And anybody that wants to be an agent, they're welcome to come on, ask me any question. If you don't know me, you got to understand, I'm going to give them a direct answer. I'm going to tell them the truth about real estate, and I'm going to try to scare them away from real estate, because my overall passion is to build better real estate agents for what's coming ahead. Okay? If you want to know what's coming ahead, drop me a line. I got a whole bunch of things about the market. The last thing I want to leave you with, as we go off, it's available. The books are all by Brian Buffini and Liz Johnson.
And Michael J. Mayer.
And Michael J. Mayer. And type your information in there too, Des.
And
Hey, for the people that are left, next week, you want to do a luxury person, or would you rather talk to about an investor? An agent that specializes in investments?
I'd love to hear an investment one.
Investments.
Investment?
Yeah, investments.
Okay, what about a commercial guy?
Yes.
That would be cool.
Okay.
Preferably a multifamily commercial.
Well, commercial's commercial.
All right.
We don't have enough multifamilies to actually, if you focus on multifamilies only in this area, you'd be dead. You'd be asking what you want French fries with that burger.
Is Greg in here?
I'm here.
Oh, you're not in your office.
Oh, no. No, I'm not in my office. I'm in DC, brother. Desiree, put your information in there, contact.
or
You never know. These people might know somebody who knows somebody. Hopefully they're all still in business in 2 years. But you might have impressed. Listen, if you're not looking at your neighbor and helping your neighbor, collaborating with your neighbor, because not everybody makes it in this business. You got to go somewhere. So, all right, 1:59 p.m. I am proud of myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back. We're out of here. Have a great week. Be prosperous. If you need me, give me a holler.
That was awesome. Thank y'all both.
Thank you, buddy.
thank you.
And don't be afraid to share this with anybody, please. at Power Interviews on Facebook.
And please sign up for Dragon Boating Race in October.
There you go. Michael Prince has already signed up, right? Michael Prince, he's gone. But yeah, I think Michael, we got a crew already. So we should be in good shape. We should be in good shape.
Cool.